friends, everyone. On last video we have completed about the measure of intelligence. I think so, right? The First World War began in the 1914, and later on 1917, the Robert Hicks, with the help of his colleagues, prepared Army Alpha and Beta intelligence. Different people have came and they have actually prepared intelligence tests for the army, and then David Lester in 1999 published the Wrestler Believable Intelligence Skills. This skill was revised 1951 was Wrestler Adult Intelligence Skill. So these are the tests are actually related to the cognitive, and then 2018 David Lester developed intelligence test to measure the intelligence of children. Okay, and apart from this, now let's try to understand the concept related to measurement. So first of all, in concept, the first thing you need to be understood that it is related to your mental capacity are actually checking in intelligence test. So what is mental age? The concept of mental age was introduced by Alfred Binet. He assumed that mental age development need not correspond to chronological age. He devised a comprising of items specified for the age group level and measure the mental age varies. Mental age can be defined as the age at which individual performs successfully on all items on a test prepared for that age. The concept of mental age is explained with the help of following example. Mental age was actually developed by Alfred Bennett, and mental age and chronological age, your biological age, my chronological age 25 years. So mental age is not corresponding to that. Mental age is totally different. It is mental age divided by chronological multiply 100. The formula is given over here. So see over here, in individual Asia is biologically 10 years, and the age which individual performs successfully on items 12 she got. Okay, so you need to do that. So intelligence question, the concept of intelligence question was introduced by German psychologist William Stern. Like, are you remember the mental age was Alfred Binet, and intelligence question was introduced by German psychologist William Stern in 1912. As a ratio of mental age to chronological age, Stern computed IQ by formula later. Terman refined the formula. First, Stern computed the formula, and Terman refined the formula IQ by multiplying ratio of MA and CA by 100. This formula is followed like this. Okay, there are three people. The first who has actually introduced Alfred Binet, then after that the William Stern was established, and then Terman was multiplied by 100. So these three people are involved to develop this formula. Think about it. Yes, so you can multiply, you can put the and mental age will be mental age will be consider what kind of marks you are getting in the examination. If in 100 marks, how much marks you are getting. The concept of IQ, if you have 80 below, so you are below average. Okay, so now the types of group test, types of intelligence test. Today psychologists use a variety of intelligence tests to measure intelligence. All these tests are classified into the following categories. Okay, so based on methods of administration, based on material used, individual test, group test. Okay, so these tests are actually based on, group tests are majorly based on the methods of administration, and individual based on material you are using. So individual test of intelligence tests that can be administered to a single individual at a time are called individual test or intelligence. Binet scale intelligence, which is the scale of by Dr. Bhatia performance. So intelligence tests are those tests where individually you are doing just go block tests, etc. Or some of the example of individual tests like Bhatia, go block design, Whistler scale, And what is the advantage of intelligence test? The test administrator can establish a rapport with the client. Whatever test uh, administered are there, they can establish a rapport with the client. Whatever individual are doing the test, administration can get additional information about the client feeling, moods, and expression during testing. Individual life, you are understanding, you are not understanding the client, the giving, you are understanding the feeling and mood, how he is giving the test. Individual tests are more capable of measuring the creative thinking compared to group test. And disadvantage of intelligent test. So intelligent tests are time consuming and costly administrator. These tests are actually related to time consuming and it is costly. Individual tests require a trainer, a trained and skillful examiner to administer and score and interpret them. Individual tests are actually require a trained and skillful examiner to administer and score interpret them. Okay, so now individual tests are like you have understood individual test. Whenever you are taking in the individual, you are developing a report, you are understanding the moods and feeling, and you are understanding very deeply. In group test, intelligent test that can be administered by more than one person. It's a good test. Intelligence were devised to recruit large number of soldiers in the army. General classification: intelligence group tests are your competitive exam and all, and it is a one kind of group test. Advantage of group test of intelligence: group tests are less time consuming and economical. In administering group tests, the role of the examining is minimal. So in group tests, the examining are actually very minimal. And the disadvantage of group test is the test administrator has much less opportunity to establish a report. Like the administration cannot establish a report with the person. Compare the individual test, group test are less capable of measuring creative aspects of intelligence. Like in intelligence test, you are actually having a different time, but over here in group test, you are not as you like different aspect of intelligence you are checking. So this is intelligence test of this, and now the verbal test of intelligence. Okay. What is exactly a verbal? Verbal means oral written. Intelligence that use languages for measuring intelligence are called verbal. Like whatever words or number, whatever intelligent tests are there are using words or number. It is a verbal test. In this test, subjects are required to respond verbally to items like army alpha test, rational adult test, etc. Some of the example of test of intelligence. Verbal tests are useful measuring high mental abilities. Like the advantage, like it is actually checking the high mental abilities are useful to differentiate between having average intelligence, having people average, above average. This test cannot be given to people having different linguistic background. Like these tests are actually the disadvantages. Language barrier are there. Like these tests are majorly test intelligent tests are in English, so language plays a very important role. These tests are culture bound and therefore cannot be used in other culture. The non-verbal test, the intelligent test that are using picture, design, material, object. Over here verbal, like words and number, and over here number, pictures and design. And the advantage is like this test can be given by anyone like illiterate. This test culture free and therefore can be used in other culture also. No culture barrier. Non-verbal of intelligence are less suitable of measure high and subtle mental ability. It is actually uh, disadvantage, like not checking your higher mental abilities. uh, and then wait, this much we need to complete, right? We are here. We are in applications. Okay, application. So application of intelligent testing in various areas. Okay, so what are the applications of this test are in various areas. Measurement of intelligence began with the need of knowing the individual difference. measure, we have done measurement how it is begun, because to know the difference between one individual to another. Today intelligent test has its application in diverse field, this application in educational, child center, industries, recruitment center, diagnostic clinic, etc. Following are some of the testing proof helpful. So effective schooling, the intelligence test enable teachers and other authorities identify the educationally background student and solve their problem. On the basis of periodic test scores, the teachers are able to classify pupils into different intellectual categories to help them devising special instructional program suited to their mental development and thereby enhancing process of their development to the adequate normal level. In effective schooling, it is also helping the teachers are able to understand the identify the child intellectual problem, and according to them they are developing the program for that children. In mental health aiding, intelligence test enables clinician to measure the intellectual level of their client. Intelligence tests are helpful to clinician and diagnosis purpose and prognosis. Therapeutic, effective parenting, intelligence test helps parents to know the intellectual capacities of their children. Intelligent, because of intelligent test, the parents are understanding the intelligent capacities of the children. Career counseling, intelligent test helps student to select the right educational course which is suitable to their intellectual capacity. Career counseling also, a person can understand the capacity, really they are suited for their work or not. Vocational intelligence helps people to choose suitable vocation for themselves. This helps in reducing the problem of absenteeism, job dissatisfaction, and increase the possibilities of living satisfied and happy life. And you know why I'm saying different application of intelligence? Because of this application, they are understanding their capacities, and they are reducing their absenteeism, boring or interest in the particular job, whatever job they need to do. So nutrients in intelligence, social intelligence, emotional and artificial. There are, now we have application, we have understood measurement also done. Now we will understand what are the nutrients, artificial intelligence, emotional and social. Okay. So according to me, I am not going to read this out properly for all of you, but the main thing I can say that to you, emotions are very different. Every person have a different emotions. Where artificial intelligence, everyone know it is enabling machines and software running automatically, automatic mode. So these are artificial intelligence. Social intelligence, everyone know, how you are interacting with other person and how much knowledge you have. Yeah. Okay. So if I studied for you by reading the examples like your box, some examples that Jachandra intellectual adults fails to cope up with the challenges in life. He feels very lonely. His relation with parents, sometimes you are academically good, but you don't have a that much confidence to have a friends, that is social intelligence. Many times we see people who are less qualified and who did not do well in quite successful, happy and popular in their lives. Thus is not merely cognitive abilities but some factors that determine success. Social intelligence. Social intelligence, if I say, see in India, the political leader, they are not educated. I'm not demotivating you, political people are there, but political people have a great level of social intelligence. Then E.L. Thorndike, a psychologist from Columbia University, proposed the term social intelligence for the first time. Thorndike was proposed the term 1920, and Howard Gardner included interpersonal intelligence in his multiple intelligence theory. According to the Carl Epstein, social intelligence is the ability to get along with others and get them to cooperate with oneself. Okay, yeah, you can understand very easily now. Okay, so thanks for listening me.